Hello student, today we are going to learn the first lesson of history of 8th standard, that is sources of history. See, the title very itself indicates these are the sources of history by which we can gather the information about various events, incidents, persons, things. Now this year we are going to study the sources of modern Indian history. Historical sources includes material, written and oral sources. Now see, let us go for material sources. Now, what is meant by material sources? The various objects, monuments, places, coins, sculptures can be included in the material sources of history. Building and palaces. We know the British had ruled India. While ruling in India, they had built the structure, various types of structure, which they used to build in their country. The governance of princely states. Even in this period, various buildings, bridges, roads, water supply system, fountain, etc. were built. These buildings includes government offices, residences of officers, leaders, and revolutionary palaces of the rulers of princely states, forts, prisons. We might have seen or we might have visited these places. Even many times we came across these things. Now, why do we visit these things? What do we get by this? While visiting these sites, we get information about contemporary history, architecture, nature of the monument, and also the economic condition of the particular period. Let us see Cellular Jail. It is located at Andaman, on remote island of India, Andaman and Nicobar, where V.D. Savarkar had stayed and Britishers had imprisoned him. So these are the imprint of Cellular Jail. So it has become the material source now. Even Sevagram Ashram at Varda, where Gandhiji had stayed and left his footprints. So that is also a matter, that is also a thing to study. Now, museums and history. Now, at the Aga Khan Palace in Pune, now we can see different objects, document giving information about the life of Mahatma Gandhi, where he had spent some of his time and where he was lastly imprisoned by the Britishers in 1942, along with his wife Kasturbaji. So it has left his impression and memories at that particular place. You can see the beautiful images of it, by which we can gather the information correctly. Similarly, statues and memorials are also the part of material sources. The various statues provide information about the contemporary rulers and eminent personalities. The display plaque on the statue gives us information about the full name of the concerned person, birth, death, details, brief information about their contribution, and the biographical sketch of the person. Just as the statue of Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, Lokmanya Tilak, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, which we can able to see in many places. So these are the material sources of history. Let us turn to the second point, written sources. The meaning itself gives the idea written, so these are available in a written format. It includes correspondences, by which the correspondence is done, that is lettering, periodicals, which published after some specific periods, periodicals, magazines, journals, foreign accounts of the person those who visited the countries, factory records, autobiographies, then newspapers, biographies, and books, all are available in written form, giving the detailed information about the events and incidents. Written sources. We get information about the political, social, economic, and cultural happenings of that period. In the pre-independence period, newspapers like Jnanoday, Jnan Prakash, Amrit Bazar Patrika, Deenabandhu Kesari acted as an important source of awakening the minds of the people. And still today, the newspaper are doing the same work. Through the newspaper, we can study the British policies regarding India and their effects on India during the British period. And these are the examples of the newspapers. So newspaper were not only the source of political events but also acted as a source of social reformation. So Kesari, Prabuddha Bharat, Janta, Samta, these are the papers published by Ambedkar, Kesari by Lokmanya Tilak, Dinabandhu. So it's the source of written history. Even maps and drawing also included in written sources. Maps. The Survey of India was an independent department established during the British period. Through scientific method of survey, they have created maps of India, various provinces of India, cities. We know even the cities plans designed by the architects prove important from the view of study of architecture of a building as well as phases of development process of a particular area. We know the type of map that we usually study in the political map of India, even physical map of India. The Survey of India, we can see the logo of Survey of India very clearly. Let us turn to the next type, that is oral sources. Oral, the sources which are passed orally to the one generation to the next generation, the information which is passed. It comes inspirational songs, folk songs, povadas, folk tales, narrations, interviews, fairs, jalsa, art groups, rhythmic prose, etc. During the period of freedom movement, various inspirational songs were composed for awakening the minds of the people. Even through these inspirational songs, we can get information about the condition of during the pre-independence period and also the spirit behind the freedom struggle. Povada, we know the Povada of Shivaji Maharaj very well. Is getting information about historical event or the work of a person. The various Povadas composed on freedom struggle of 1857 also. So even by interview, by asking a person few questions, we can understand or we try to know some information about the histories. Some narrations also made by the people that this had happened, that had happened. So people just continuing this tale orally. Folk tales also do the same work. The orally information passes to one generation to the other, that is oral sources. Now next type is video, audio and audio-visual sources. These are the modern sources also. So during the modern period, due to the development of technology, there was a development in the art of photography, recording, films, etc. Photographs. The photographs of various person, events, objects, structure, places were clicked. Through this photograph, we get information of the person or an event in the visual format. Photograph of an event gave visual image of the event, whereas photograph of an object or a structure helps in understanding its nature. Recording. You can see the picture of recording. During modern period, the speeches of leaders or important personalities' songs are available in the form of recording. It can be used as a source of history. For example, national anthem Jana Gana Mana sung by Rabindranath Tagore. Even the speeches given by Subhash Chandra Bose can be used as an audio source for the study of history of modern period. Films. Everyone is fond of films and Bollywood. But we cannot forget the contribution of Dada Saheb Phalke, who is called the father of Indian industry. In the 1930, he laid the foundation of Indian film industry. Audio-visual recording of Dandi Yatra, Salt Satyagraha, Quit India movement, and such other historical incidents are available through films. So by which we can understand the exact history of record in a visual forms. So Quit India, Dandi Yatra, that is done by Mahatma Gandhi ji, and his contribution that we came across. So these are the sources of history. You need to study the lesson from this point of view to understand well. There is a great need of preserving these historical sources through which the rich tradition of history can be handed over to the next generation. Thank you.